Konbanwa minasan, Phantom desu. Good evening, everybody. It's Phantom. And for this factory day, we are going to be terraforming a planet. Yes, just like that. I'm hoping that it sounds okay. Actually, I might need to turn my mic up just a little bit. Because I had my mic closer to me the last time I recorded and I turned it down. So, this should be fine. I've got believe it or not, I've got the game audio at like 25%. I'll make sure it's not overpowering for anybody. But I can hear it just fine. So this is the Planet Crafter. You can't really see the name of the... I'm sorry, let me just move my camera real quick here. There, you can see the Planet Crafter, or just Planet Crafter. There's two... It's the Planet Crafter on Steam. But, yes. So, this is a game where you take a desolate planet and turn it into a planet full of life. Fuyu's played this before, and I rated her when she was playing it. And so I figured I'll just give it a shot. There's actually two full-on planets. There's a Humble Planet DLC. I'm going to do the standard planet. The only difference I'm going to do with the game mode is I'm going to make the landing site random, so we don't know where we're going to spawn, and no consequences to dying, because that's how we usually play casually. It just seems like a more stream friendly than, I don't know, hardcore. Hardcore would be a very quick game, and probably not a very fun game. So let's go ahead and start. That doesn't sound good. Why is it that we almost always crash on these things? Okay. Welcome to your assigned planet. Your mission is to advance the terraformation process of this world. You'll need to generate O2, heat, and pressure. First, reach 175,000 Ti and create a blue atmosphere. Okay. That is our job. We have some oxygen, we have some space food, and we have a single yerba seed. No water. So we're going to dehydrate very quickly. Except that there's ice here. Yay for ice. Thankfully there are no monsters out here to get you. This is a very chill game. I have no idea where we spawned. This does not look familiar to me. I just hope it will not be underwater when the water starts flowing. Because that will be a very upsetting thing to have happen. I need some iron. Lots of iron. Because iron is what a lot of the stuff I need to start building is made out of. Including the hab. The music is kind of creepy in this game. It's very atmospheric kind of stuff. But there's really nothing to worry about. You don't get attacked by things, which is very nice. is a very chill atmosphere. Pun intended, because it is very cold. It is a very cold planet right now. We're trying to make it a not cold planet. Let's get some silicon. More cobalt can't hurt. There's plenty of it. I say it can't hurt, and then I get like super full on everything. Alright, now we've got that microchip. That allows us to construct. This allows us to deconstruct. And since we can construct, that means we can make a living compartment, which we kind of need for living and stuffs. So we're going to be here. I can't make a door to go in, so I can't use the living compartment yet. Now I can make a door. Great, we have a door. Now, despite the fact that there's no power, the living compartment still functions. I don't know how it does this, it just generates an atmosphere. And it will continue to do so with or without power, which is nice. I'm not complaining. I will not complain. There will be no complaints about being able to breathe. Over there's a dust storm. And as I thought, meteors. Now, I do complain about getting hit by meteors. I said nothing attacks you. That's not exactly true. The sky kind of attacks you. Thankfully, it can't break your structure here. You're kind of, it's kind of impossible to break the structure that you build. I don't know why. It's just iron and titanium, but apparently space rocks can't blow you up, so it's good. I'm gonna make some water out of the ice that we've got, because as you'll notice, I'm starting to dehydrate. Let's see. I need a turbine. Now we got power, so we got light inside, basically, now. Whenever it starts raining rocks outside, I can go out and start getting the materials. That is a very good hazelnut mocha. Okay. It is no longer raining fiery rocks of death. So, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for lots and lots of iron. Because iron is used for making wind turbines. Wind turbines are very necessary at the start. And if you use the deconstruction module, as you saw when I was making my crafting station, made it in the wrong place, I can disassemble things and recover the materials from them. So I don't waste anything. We don't like wasting. This might not be fix it, but we still don't like wasting things. Sensible corporate. So, I will make a veggie tube that will allow me to create oxygen. And I need a drill, which will allow me to start creating pressure. That is unfortunately too much for my power grid. So I'm going to expand my power grid a little bit. And now I need more iron. You see how fast I ran out of iron? That's what happens. Very early on in this game, you run out of iron a lot. I get the feeling that this might be a lake. when things start filling in. This might not be a lake bed, but the area back there might be. So I'm going to be very careful about how much I build in this area and watch the water levels rising very, very intently. Because if... What just happened? I got power restored and what just happened? Is my power on or off? Okay. We need more of these because I want to make a heater. And there. I really want to make more, but I don't have the room. So I'm going to see. Oh, that requires iron too. This all of this requires iron. I think I get a ton of iron, including for my storage container. So cool. I have just enough room that I can take this, put it here, and dump all my stuff in it. Yay! Now I have a clean inventory ready for more iron. Did something drop? Guess not. Okay. So, moving on. Yep, more meteors. Oh dear. Now, if you go over to those places, there will be rubble and materials to pick up. So these meteor storms do have a purpose. They provide materials for you to pick up. Just going out while they're raining is a bad idea because you can get hit and blowed up. We don't want that. That does not feel good. Is it safe? Nope. There's still more. Are you quite done yet? Apparently not. There's some right over there, though. I will go grab those. Done? I think we're done. Alright, there's lots of rubble over here. And I see some aluminum. This is a very precious resource early on in the game. It will become very commonplace later on. Or rather, you will have to have a lot of it later on. Grabbing the stuff out of the rubble is sometimes very difficult. And I think these are just common resources. It's not anything major. It's not like it's, you know, indium or iridium rocks or whatever. Oh, crap. I might not make it back. I'm not going to make it back. This is why I have on the no consequences. Because this happens a lot. It sends you back to wherever you last were safe. Alright. I need a bigger air tank. Oh, look. I just got a blueprint for a bigger air tank. As I said it. Alright, I should probably go back. I got a decent chunk of iron. I'd like more, but small air tank. Alright. Let's solve the air tank issue. First, tier 1 exoskeleton, because that allows me to carry more modules. I need more magnesium, which is this pointy thing here. And that lets me... Oh, wait, I need silicon. There's magnesium right next to me. It's kind of funny. Okay. That automatically replaces the oxygen tank that we did have because it requires the tier 1 as a material. It just takes it from your exoskeleton, puts it in, and you're good. It's very nice you don't have to unequip it or for any reason. And then I want to put down a desk. Put down a blueprint screen. I'd like to put down an energy level screen. Need another silicon for the terraform screen. That's right down here. I need more still. Silicon and magnesium. Energy level screen so I can see how close I am to overloading my power grid. Always sucks when you overload your power grid and you have no idea what you did wrong. And then you either have to disassemble what you just created or you have to make something else, which you might not have the materials for. Here's the box that I saw before. Yes, okay. There's a little tiny bit of uranium in there that we're gonna take. Thankfully, unlike in Satisfactory, it's not radioactive through your suit. So, you can just chuck that in with whatever, and it's fine. It has a space food. Yes, it's just called space food. Energy levels screen, so I know how close I am to overland the grid. 3.05 kilowatts available. Some titanium here. Can we do more than one? Can. Let's get some pressure going. That leaves me with a 1.5 basically left over. You can find blueprints, like chips, throughout the game, and use them to get yourself new items to craft. What you get is completely random, which is always fun. I'm sure anybody who's here for the Wednesday streams often knows how much fun me and Baron had with randomly generated blueprints that were given out to us by Satisfactory, and how long we had to wait to get the concrete. That was sure fun. Tier 2 backpack. Now I got more room. I also want to get some more iron, like a good bit more iron to make more storage crates, because I'm going to need a lot of materials. Iron and titanium are also used to build buildings. So if I can get a bunch of iron and titanium, I can build out my base to like a 9 square, 3x3. 3x3 would be very nice. Very, very nice. Unfortunately, it requires 2 iron per. So I need twice as much iron as I need titanium, which is going to take a while. So for a little bit, it's just going to be running around getting titanium and iron and trying not to suffocate. So yeah. This is basically the beginning of the Planet Crafter. Go around, get iron, and try not to suffocate. Keyword being tried, because it doesn't tell you you're low on oxygen until you're right about to run out. This is why if you're playing like hardcore or something, you'd want to always have like a couple of oxygen bottles on you, just so that if you go out a little too far, when it says, hey, you're low on oxygen, you go, oh, storms, I better go get back to base. And you have a bottle to sip. And then you can just actually make it back on time. Because that only tells you when you're about to run out. Which I still think that's dumb. You should be able to set your own. Like, hey, I want to be warned when I'm 50% down. because it's going to take me that long to come back. And of course you run into the problem of having chewed through basically all the easy iron that's nearby, and then you gotta go further and further out to get it. Thankfully, there are chests like these, and all of them can be disassembled for an iron. There is a ship out there, which I want to investigate, but I will not have enough oxygen. This is why you have oxygen bottles. And you can craft them with only 2 cobalt, which is pretty plentiful. We picked up quite a bit of it. This is good so far. I need an iron and a silicon for that. Radium iron. Radium silicon iron. There we go. Another heater. That will help get the heat up. And see right here we have 0 oxygen being produced so far because we still don't have any plants. I don't believe this counts. It does count. Oh, wow. It doesn't tell you how much it counts for, but it doesn't count for very much. PPQ there stands for part per quadrillion. Yeah, not part per million. We're not nearly there yet. So I'm gonna go off to that. I'm gonna take this oxygen capsule with me. If I have to use it, it's time to head back. It's such a quiet game. I wish I had some like good music to play. I'd be the only one hearing it though. There we go. Now we're in here. This is a blueprint microchip box. They all look like that, which is nice. You know what you're looking for. I'm going to be very picky here because I want the aluminum. And the shunga seed for sure. That's really helpful. Go ahead and use the oxygen capsule now and take the iridium with me. I will come back for another bunch of stuff later, but right now that is enough. The Humble Planet is kind of interesting because you get certain kinds of ore that can be broken up into other kinds of ore. So you don't have nearly the amount of space as in this planet. But you do have like shortcuts kind of to a lot of resources. If you want to think of it that way. Because microchip. And I get tier 1 mining speed, which is not that great. But I'll take it anyway. I'll make it. I'll equip it. Cool. We should probably get the silicon and magnesium for a torch. Or as they call it in the US, a flashlight. You can kind of tell that it's not US based because it's called a torch. unfortunately, that means we're out of silicon after this. But having a flashlight is very important. Very important. This thing, I can probably afford to make a second one. Just need an ice and a magnesium, and there's an ice right here, and there's magnesium right here. So I can just make another veggie tube. And I don't have the power for it, but that's okay. I have to have iron for another wind turbine. Now I got the stainless steel. Now, I've only got 1 kilowatt available. This takes a kilowatt. It also takes silicon, which I don't have. This generates 1.2 per. So that was another 2.4 I just got. And some more silicon, some more magnesium. Another silicon. Oh, goody. Now we have solar panel access, which is exactly what I needed. More power. For solar panels, I'm going to need plenty of cobalt, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, iron, cobalt, and silicon. That helps a lot. That will let me make a bunch more of these. And that is another thing that I typically do. I typically make a bunch of the solar panels, and I also make a heater room. A room just full of heaters. I don't need any of this stuff just yet. That there. Another one. Take all that lovely iron that we collected to make those and put it to better use somewhere else. Alright, we are out of cobalt. But that's okay. There's plenty more. All those weird little squiggly ones are cobalt. Grab those. Okay, our inventory is full. And now we're going to make some more solar panels. Because you can never have too much power. Okay. Needs more silicon. Okay. Let's grab some water. Now, we'll make some more lockers. Now, this is going to be organized by ore type. We'll put iron in here. We'll put titanium in here. We'll put cobalt in here, magnesium in here, silicon in there, aluminum in here, and everything else in here. Because everything else right now is not very much, actually. Later on, everything else is going to be a lot. We're going to have to separate a lot of things out from everything else and put them in their own categories. What did we just get access to? Tier 2 vegetubes. This is good. This requires 2 ice and iron, magnesium, and silicon. So we need to go on silicon farming. Looks like there's plenty over here. And now that I've been to this area, I definitely recognize this area from previous playthroughs, so I know where on the map we are. We've explored quite a bit of this planet, and it's not randomly generated, so I am aware of where we are, roughly. I just don't remember if this goes underwater during the end of the Ice Age for this planet. I don't think it does. I want to say it doesn't, but I can't be sure. There is a distinct possibility that our base will be underwater once I start melting the ice caps. But, we can move it. Home underwater? Just move! I wish it wouldn't lose its target sometimes. I don't know if that's just me being too far away or if it's actually a glitch. It's still in early access, so there will be issues. But thankfully, there's very few issues with this one. I'm gonna open these veg tubes and take out these things. Make, ooh, I need ice. I would disassemble that, but then it will be over full and it will drop onto the floor and it'll be all messy. So let's grab that ice. Let's make a new veg tube here. It's too tall. Let's make it there. And deconstruct the T1. Deconstruct the other T1. Drop some stuff on the floor. Make another tier 2. Put the stuff in the tier 2s. There we go. And now we have aluminum. It is aluminum, not aluminium. Right, put magnesium in here. Cobalt. Titanium. Alright. Not bad. Alright, so now I can start building out the base a bit more. To do that, I'll need iron and titanium. I don't have much iron. I very much like to build. No, I can't. Not that way. Let's just build this way. Need more iron to build more compartments and other stuff. Ooh, there's a box over here I don't think I noticed before. I think that way is the way to the ice area. If I remember my geography correctly. It's not like we play this all the time. It's been a while, and I've been to a few different landing spots, so I know kind of where a lot of things are. I don't know precisely where almost anything is. I know generally that this is like north of the most basic landing spot, which is underwater. When you start making lakes and stuff. So, fair warning, I probably want you to be a little surprised if it happens, but if you settle right where your pod lands and you selected the first drop point, you will be underwater when you start making lakes. So, you want to get to higher ground. Significantly higher ground. Alright. Do I want another living compartment? Kind of. I don't want to waste the iron, but I really feel like I need that. How much more room we got? 17 kilowatts. We got plenty. Oh, and it won't let you disassemble something if there's stuff in it. So. Will not let you disassemble a room if there's objects in it, for example. As you can see, oh, I need titanium, not silicon. As you can see, we need aluminum now to expand our backpack. So it's a good thing we got that aluminum. And yes, I know. Yes, game, I know. I can hold control if I wanted to. I did not. Okay. Now we've got those. We need a silicon and an iron for each one of these. No sense in making more veg tubes because we don't have any more seeds. And we need seeds for each one. Or it will not produce any oxygen. Because there is no plant in there. Now we got the indoor ladder, which means that we can actually build up. Yay. I never build up. So, let's see. What do I want now? More drills? I kind of want to explore and see if I can find more seeds. So I need more O2 seeds. There are just no chests out here. About to get that. Kind of close to that. Nowhere close to that. Let's... Excuse me. Let's get over here. Finish up business at this crashed ship. Totally not ominous at all. Given what happened to us on the way down here. Yeah, this is totally fine. Okay. And there's nothing else in here, unfortunately, which means that there's no O2 seeds left. We only had the one. I'm gonna take the aluminum, just because I might not need it right now, but things. The recipes start requiring aluminum pretty fast, so starting here is actually pretty good. I think that's another crashed ship or building over yonder. So we'll grab that. I want to see if I can make it back before I have to use my oxygen tank, so... Don't want to have to sacrifice a couple of cobalt to get a new one. There we go. Alright, put that in there. Put this in here. We do get a Lermacy, which is not really great, but it's something. We need another 2 ice and 1 magnesium to make those tier 2 veg tubes. And I'm starting to run out of water, so I'm going to take a couple more ice. Make a couple more waters. You may be wondering what happens when I run out of space food. Well, hopefully by that point I've built up to having a food grower. I need a lot more oxygen for that, though. So that's why I'm kind of working on exploration to try and get the veg tubes, because having that is very important. All of these eggplant mushroom seeds and whatever, we can't use those without a food grower. Alright, now we've got the T2 drill available, which requires an extra titanium for each one. So I'm going to go actually try and grab some more titanium so I can upgrade most of the drills that we've got. I probably won't be able to upgrade every drill we have, because I put down quite a few, and the extra energy drain might overload my my grid. But if I can get a couple more, a little bit of cobalt for these solar panels. Yeah. I should come back here and clean that up. I've been here so many times. Just taking little bits out of the box. I never actually took the whole box. Let's see here. Silicon, titanium, iron, cobalt, and magnesium. And then other, I've got 2 more fabric. Alright. So, the tier 2 heater requires an extra aluminum, an extra titanium, and an extra iridium. So we've got 3 iridium. Only at least 5 aluminum. And same amount of titanium to upgrade the heat. Put the heaters in. How much power we got left? Only 4.75 kilowatts left. Alright. Sounds like we could use a couple more of these. Another iron. Another silicon. Can also make screen progress with iron to silicon and cobalt. Iron to silicon and a cobalt. And that will give us the idea of how far we are along in the progress from one stage to another formation. From barren to blue sky, and then blue sky to, I think, liquid water. Alright, power-wise, we've got 16 kilowatts to play with. Four titanium, I can upgrade 4 T1 drills to T4, which is exactly what I have. Or T1 to T2, sorry. Uh-oh. Iron, I need a silicon, I need 2 cobalt. Let's fix this. Now we have it back. Not much remaining as far as power goes, but we're starting to get there. Food grower is at 12 parts per trillion, which we're not close to. Really need to get out there and try to find more seeds. There are some really powerful ones. Golden seeds. They're like a 500 or 600 something % modifier. If we can get just one of those, it will help our production a lot. Because it's a multiplier on the base value that the thing it's in produces as far as oxygen. So it's like any plant in there will produce X amount. But if you use a better plant, it will have a better multiplier. Ah! I have to blow that up with explosives. That is not something I can get into right now. Unless I found some bombs somewhere, then I would be able to get in there. But hey. Finding those just lying around is very, very rare. So it's not The Legend of Zelda where you can get bombs at any time. So once again, I'm going to set off into the distance. Is that a bead? A crash ship or something out there? I think it is. I just need 2 titanium, and I can make a in-between habitable spot to take some air from. So I'm gonna go out here and grab 2 titanium, make my way as close to that piece of wreckage as I can before I have to make a box, an air box. Aha! Here's where some other stuff crashed. Some things, some rocks landed. I think I know what that is over there. Ah. Wonderful. This is exactly what I wanted to find. I'm fairly sure I know what this is. This is a crashed ship. A much larger crashed ship. There's not much light in here. Some spacesuits. It's just cosmetics. But this is where you get a lot of your O2 seeds early on in the game. This is a very good source for it. Yeah, I get caught on that terrain all the time. Man, I thought they fixed that. Okay. Another small container. And we're going back in for more. There's a lot of loot here. Including 2 more microchip blueprints. Or blueprint microchips, rather. You can also deconstruct this debris. There is a tier 2 deconstruction chip, which I don't think we've ever gotten. That lets you deconstruct technical debris, which is gives you different things. Okay, cool. I believe that's the end of this ship. I don't think there's anything more down in the passage. That's exciting. I managed to get it all. Alright. There was another box down there. I should probably make another box here and drop off more stuff. T2 exoskeleton. Available for me to craft. Nice. I'm gonna go down here. And finish off this area by picking up all this stuff and all this stuff and then deconstructing all of these. Perfect. Got everything from inside the ship. Now the only question is how do we carry all this stuff back, because this is way more than I can carry in one backpack. The answer is priorities. We can do it by priorities, or we can do it by just categories. So what I can do is I can take all of the iron and all of the aluminum. So I'm just going to take this stuff, go back, come back with an empty inventory, get more. Just going to be a couple trips, but then we'll have all of the loot from that entire ship. We can also build the communications array and the screen, the transmission screen. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, because we built that once and we got some kind of creepy transmissions from the the company that's basically forced you to go do this, and also from a friend who's trying to rescue us, and I'm not sure exactly how much I like either of the ways that those are going. But I don't want to say it won't matter, because there's every possibility that we will just get this place fully terraformed. So I don't want to say that there's no possibility that we'll get this planet finished, so there's no point in worrying about it. There is. The other thing is that there are these. See, there's another big wreck. I believe that wreck is where the original starting area is, or nearby it. So we're actually not that far. Yeah, that's where the original starting area is. So we're really not far from the recommended first-time players starting point. So that'll be fun to show later on. But the thing is, oh, there's another box there. That's nice. I'll go grab that box. There is a third option. There are these artifacts all across the planet in some interesting areas that you have to like unlock with keys and stuff. And we haven't gotten very far into that side of things, so we're not really sure what's going on with that. But it's kind of, it's not anywhere near as weird and creepy as the things that talk to Ada. That's for sure. It is nowhere near that creepy. It is nowhere near that weird, thankfully. Because if it was, I with as atmospheric as this game is, if it were that creepy, I might bugger off. Alright, we want another chest here. This is just going to be for the food seeds. Alright, got 2 Pistera seeds, which are better than the Lerma seeds. So we'll swap those out. Drop these in here. Let's unlock some more blueprints. T1 agility boots, T2 agility boots, and T2 mining speed. I believe all of that's going to require, yeah, T2 mining speed needs silicon and super alloy. Super alloy is actually made from all 6 of these materials: iron, titanium, cobalt, magnesium, silicon, and aluminum, all combined into one. That's why it's called super alloy. I need 2 aluminum to make the agility boot tier 1. That will increase my movement speed. And the T2 needs 2 fabric and 2 super alloy, which I don't have 2 fabric. I only have 1. So unfortunately, I will have to leave that alone for now. But I can take an aluminum, 2 magnesium, titanium, and silicon, 1 aluminum, and that gets me tier 2 exoskeleton. That gives me 4 more spots. That's a lot of space. It might not be noticeable, but I do move quite a bit faster now. That's without the agility boots. This is with the agility boots. The tier 2 are more noticeable. But I'm not gonna complain. I only need 1 more fabric, and I can make the tier 2. So, at least that's probably not too far away. There's a box. There's another box over here somewhere. Right there. If either of those have a fabric in it, or there's one back in here that I did not grab, then we're good. There's 3 fabric in here, actually. I can make plenty of boots. Yeah. Plenty of boots. Okay. And then there's still the rest of those 2 boxes to grab. On the way back, I'm going to see what's inside this one. There might be something good. Yeah? That is good. I'll take that iridium for now. The rest is just basic materials, I think, but definitely worth coming back for. It's a bunch of materials I don't have to mine individually. And then an iron at the end, which, as we know, you need a lot of iron. Especially at the start. We're getting those KTIs up there in the top right. I only realized now that I'm covering up the quests. It says first steps, reach a blue sky. It had a lot of other ones before. So if you decide to play this, you'll get to see that. Alright, so instead of 15% movement speed, this is 30% movement speed. That's a lot faster. It's noticeable indoors. So you might want to turn sprint off. I have toggle sprint on because I don't have sprint on a button. I don't have a button that I like for sprint. All of the options that I have are kind of subpar sprint buttons. And I don't want to hurt my human's hand by just constantly holding the shift button. That might be uncomfortable. Okay. I want to make a couple more veg tubes. Requires 2 silicon, 2 magnesium. I said those backwards again. And I need 4 ice. See, this is much faster. You don't have to worry nearly as much about suffocating out there when you've got this much speed. That's plenty of ice. Alright. Time for another veg tube. And one more. Just need an iron for. Can't put them in between. There we go. Silicon, titanium, iron. No silicon. There was a good amount up here. There we go. Okay. Make one more here. And of course, well, let's try to make some of these anyway. The tier 2 bullet panels. I mean, this is why you need plenty of aluminum, because each one of these requires one, and these are phenomenal. You want these a lot. Yeah, magnesium. It's not something I've been picking up a whole lot because I don't feel like I need a whole lot of it. But apparently I need more than I thought I did. Let's get a bunch. Okay. Can I make 2 more? Yes, I can. Yeah, that leaves me with 109 kilowatts available. I'm only using a third, less than a third of my production, which is great because I have a whole new tier of drill to put down, which requires a ton of aluminum. So I'm going to have to go in here and hunt for some aluminum. because this is one of the areas where you can find it naturally, quite often. Ah, there was a hidden crate here. And it's got a little tiny bit of aluminum in it. I need at least one more. There we go. That's only enough for one more drill, but it's enough for one more drill. Alright, and we just unlocked locker storage, which is one of the best upgrades you're going to get for a while. That requires 3 iron, but it has way more than 3 iron chests worth of space. So I'm going to upgrade most of these to locker storage. I know they're kind of clipped inside of each other, but that's on purpose. If I clip them inside each other, they can fit more. And now we just got the food grower, which is really important. And I'm very glad we got that. These lockers are another reason why you need a lot of iron early on. Can't get through there, but magnesium, cobalt. I will eventually fill these up with their respective elements, just by virtue of how much looting I'm going to be doing later on in the run. So just keep in mind the reason I'm making all of these right now is because I will eventually need this much space. Just for things like iron and, you know. Hydrate. How long ago did you redeem the hydrate? I've been very distracted. Good timing then. Iridium uranium go in there. I want to make another locker, but I don't have the materials. I need another iron. Just to make enough storage space for the stuff I can destroy temporarily while I go out and hunt more. How are we doing on things? We have the food grower now. I have plenty of space food still, so I'm not really in too much of a hurry for that. Soon we will be getting into nuclear reactors, which is good. They're not nearly as difficult to manage as in Satisfactory. They're just another power source. Set it, and you leave it. Just plop it down, and let it run. I'm gonna go back to that chest that was back here. Where was it? Well, shoot, I can't find it now. Did I actually get the whole box? I don't think I got the whole box. Maybe I did. Well, there's one box I know I did not get. Just a sandstorm. We're good. Alright, so we want to get the box in here. There we go, we got some more aluminum, which is, again, becoming a precious resource. bring this back. I'll need to range further and further for materials, but at least I know where I am. So I have some clue of where there are more things to salvage. Here, the magnesium here, silicon here, aluminum here. And I'm totally full on places to put food. That's why I needed another chest. There. That looks right. Drop that in there. Alrighty, and then we've got just enough iron to make one last locker. Alright. Got my little storage area fully set up. I just need to grab a whole bunch more materials, especially iron. Alright, enough Skyrim memory around places. should probably just grab an oxygen capsule and some other stuff just in case and go out really exploring. Aha! This is an area with mineable superalloy, which is really rare. And that is a place I'd like to get to. Barely got it open time. Okay. Now, if I can get across there, then I can pick up a lot of really nice loot. That's deceptively far. Ah, that's how you get over there. Have to go this way. Walk all the way around. Because you can jump over these spots. They're actually not that far. And then this is a very crowded area. With lots of stuff. Lots of debris. But with all the iron, I can actually make some storage chests. And with the larger storage I have access to, I can actually store all of the stuff in that area and come back for it in stages. Which is good. Second one. Put that in there. head back. Grab some super alloy. Microchip. All that stuff. All this stuff, and the chest comes in. And there's a little bit more here. Oh no! I fall. It's okay. I can climb out again. It's not really that hard to climb out of that. Water, eat that space food, and just take the oxygen capsule with me in case I need it. Alright, we pick this stuff up in that chest. Pick up the blueprint microchip in its chest. This stuff in its chest. And you can just go over here and pick up more super alloy, which is really nice and helpful. Because we haven't hit the recipes that really use super alloy yet, but they're coming. They are. Okay. I might not make it back. Nope. Oh, it died right about here. Okay. Take all of this stuff. I'll take the blueprint microchips as well. That'll have me a full inventory on the way back. And then there's probably 2 more trips after this of just random building materials, food supplies, stuff like that. Aluminum goes in here. Super alloy goes in miscellaneous, along with the fabric. Super alloy is going to need its own container. Compass. Living compartment corner. Tier 3 microchip managed speed. Recycling machine. Silicon. Oh, there we go. Aluminum and super alloy. There we go. I'm not really sure what the tier 3 mining speed does for you. It says mining time reduction minus 30%. I guess. I don't really notice. It's not like I have to sit there and to get the stuff. It's fairly quick. Tier 1 nuclear reactor requires 3 super alloy, 2 water bottles, and a uranium rod. Which I can't even make yet, because in order to do that, I need the advanced crafting station, which I need to get to a blue sky for. So, yeah. I can't make that yet. But now that all the sky falling is done, I'll go back there and grab another load of stuff. Mostly the iron. As the iron, I need to get a. I want to get my food production going now. Not that I don't have plenty of food, it's just that there are other things that you can use things like mushrooms and eggplants for later on in the tech tree, which sounds really odd, but it is the way it is. It kind of makes a little more sense once you actually get those recipes. It's like, why would you require eggplants and mushrooms for this? Well, when you actually get there, you find out, oh, I see. That's why. You can make a kind of plastic with mushrooms, which kind of makes sense. And the eggplants used in fertilizer. So, it makes a bit sense why those are the way they are. If I can get all of that production started. Need 2 ice, a silicon, magnesium, and an iron. I'll grab 2 ice. I can see 2 ice right now. Just thought there might be something closer. Okay, that is a bit faster than I remember it being before. So that does make sense, that the mining speed, it does make things faster. Well done. want to move the veg tubes over here to kind of lining this corridor. I think that'll be a nice place to put them. There we go. Alright. Now I've got those built out. I know what I'm going to do with those later. Here. Need some more water and some more food. Get myself topped off. Might as well turn this ice into a water. And we'll finish off all the stuff up here. Miscellaneous goods. We are very near a blue sky. I mean, you can see the sky is blue now, but we need to get to 175,000 KTI. We're 169, nice. KTI right now. Just nearly there, but not quite. I don't ever disassemble these air boxes because you never know when I might need them. I'm remembering Talran, you once talked about a Minecraft streamer who leaves like chests and crafting tables everywhere. Or those crafting tables, I think. It's kind of like that. I leave those everywhere and just never really pick them up. Because why? Food grower. I'm gonna need iron and aluminum in a water bottle for each one of those. And I'm gonna need another 3 iron for the chest that I want to put nearby. And this will be just for food. Not to be confused with this food, H2O and O2 box. Want at least 1 eggplant, 1 squash, and 1 mushroom. Bean ground. I'd like to get the beans in there too, and a couple more mushroom especially a couple more eggplant, but I have limited resources. We'll do what we can with what we've got. Tier 3 veg 2. I might start making those. Those are very much more efficient and they go outside. 3 aluminum, a titanium, and using silicon for the advanced crafting station. That is going to be very important. Go ahead and put that. Here. Like I said, the super alloy requires cobalt, iron, magnesium, silicon, titanium, and aluminum. I can get the tier 4 backpack. I just need titanium, cobalt, a bunch of super alloy. And I need to make the tier 3 oxygen tank too. So iron, titanium, silicon, magnesium. Basically everything but cobalt. And what did I need? Extra cobalt and titanium. And then like 6 super alloy. There we go. Now instead of 200 oxygen, I've got 370. And I have even more inventory space, which is good. If I can condense that uranium down, which I can, I don't have enough. If I had enough, I can make a uranium rod, and then I can start making some real power. I've got enough power for now, but I won't pretty soon. It's not going to be enough very quickly. Once we get to the biodome, things are going to need a lot more energy very quickly. I'm going to actually pull all of my seeds, especially the pestra seeds. Veg tube requires aluminum and water, in addition to what I have now. So once again, I need more aluminum. It always comes back to aluminum and iron. Those are the two things you almost always run out of in this game. So never leave those behind. Let's see. I could put some of the veg juice back, really, I could. But I don't want to. Now, the recycling machine breaks items down to their core components, which means that if it's an item that I can like craft and then out of things, that not something I place, but it's actually something I craft, I can then put that in the recycling machine and it'll break it up into its constituent parts. So, that's pretty easy. So, now I need to get more aluminum. And I'm not sure where to go for that, aside from, well, just venturing out in this direction. Because I know that there's some other stuff out here. I could go into this rock forest here, which usually has a good bit of aluminum. Hello, there's a golden chest there, which has a golden effigy and a golden seed. Heck yeah. Even the crate is worth aluminum and super alloy, which is, you know, golden crate's worth a lot. Who knew? Now that I picked it up, I remember that that is there. And I probably should have gone for that as soon as I landed and realized where I was. Hindsight. This is so dim in here. Just very much needing aluminum. Yeah, this is right next to the OG spawn point. I should probably go over there and just set up, not a secondary base, but a couple of air boxes. And just gather up all the materials, bring it back. I've been doing that a lot, but I really need to get moving with stuff in order to get this terraforming project going. Now I got the big living compartment. This is one of the times where it's like, is this grounds to redo my entire base? The big living compartment needs 3 iron, 3 titanium, and 2 super alloy. Which sounds like it's not worth it, but it's four living compartments in one. So it costs you 2 super alloy, but saves you 2 iron and titanium, which doesn't sound like it's a good savings because super alloy is 1 of each material. So it's really costing you 5 iron and 5 titanium and 2 of the other 4 materials, essentially. But it also doesn't have all of these beams. It's much more open. It's this high in a 4 square, which is very nice. It also looks very nice. I quite enjoy the big living compartment, and it just looks much nicer. Don't need a cobalt in there. Oops, no. For veg tube 3, I need 2 silicon, 1 magnesium, and aluminum, and a water bottle. see it in there. This is now making 78 ppq oxygen compared to this 26 ppq per second. That oxygen is shooting up very quickly. Pretty soon we'll be at T3 heaters and then grass spreaders. Once we get to grass spreaders, we can start accumulating biomass, which is another important thing to start doing. There we go. Now, the iridium rods and uranium rods, by extension, are actually just 9 of the same thing compacted into one. That's a lot of material to consume, but it's very, very useful in crafting. These are required to make even the first tier of nuclear reactors, which they give a lot of power. So, do I have the extra aluminum? Yeah. I really want the compass. Now I have an idea of where I'm going. Okay. So, I'm gonna grab that stuff. Need 3 iron, 2 titanium, and a coal, 2 titanium and a silicon. Now, that is actually enough stuff that I can build a small build an airbox somewhere and have supplies for an extended visit out, which is something I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna head to the oh man, we just got the tier 3 heater. I kind of want to go back and redo my heaters. I'm going to go back and redo my heaters first. Then we're going to go visit the original spawn point. The default when you make a new game. If it weren't so important that I do the tier 3 heaters, I wouldn't bother. But I need to do the tier 3 heaters. Because I have the ability. Silicon, titanium, aluminum, and iridium rod. Oh, I need more silicon. Let's traipse around out here and grab some silicon. I don't think there's any such thing as too much material, so... Since I was completely empty of silicon before, I think we should just grab as much as we can. And it's always nice to grab some of these other materials while you're out. Inventory's full. I had all that stuff from before. This looks like the meteor storm, maybe. No, it's just a sandstorm. Good. Okay. Okay. So I only have basically 2 iridium rods. Nine iridium into 1 iridium rod. So I'm just gonna put all of this stuff away. Even though I know I'm gonna use some of it. I need to redo all of my heaters. Okay. There. Now I can make 3 of those machines, which requires titanium, silicon, and aluminum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And tier 3 heaters can still go indoors. Nice. Of course. Iron, magnesium, silicon, aluminum. Double cobalt. This is only producing heat very quickly. We are almost at Biodome, which I don't think I can build right now, but we'll find out when I get back from my trip to the area down south. We need 1 silicon, 2 titanium, and 3 iron. And we can go. Launch platform. That's very nice. The launch platform is basically what it says on the tin. You launch ships from it. And it's specifically to launch rockets that bring certain types of meteorites down on the planet to help improve the ability for it to be a sustainable planet. This whole place right here is basically underwater when you have lakes. So that's one of the reasons why I want to be here now, because later will be less fun. It's not like you have like an extra air meter or something when you're underwater, because you kind of already can't breathe the atmosphere here. But it's less troublesome just walking rather than swimming. Just slightly less mendokusai. Let's see. I can kind of store my everything but the oxygen capsule, I think. Everything else I will have ample warning to come back and get. I just wanted to have the extra food and water in case I'm here long enough that I need them. But you see how rich in resources this area is? There's a ton here to grab. And there are a lot more chests around here. Again, this is the first starting area. So you can expect that there's a lot of chests. That one. Grass spreader. Now that's the next tier up for oxygen production. And that's a really big step up, actually. Starting to organize my stuff a little bit here. Putting ores in one place. Everything else, it's not like ores or production materials. And another one. Go back out and pick up that last iron from the chest if I can find it. And the chest itself. Yep, here it is. Pick that up. Pick that up. I know there's another chest or two up the way in that passage, but I don't have the space. I'd rather not half-ass it. Always looking around to see if I can spot another chest that I don't remember. And of course I know there's a whole bunch in that rack up there. Just a whole bunch of stuff. That's gonna require another air box and a bunch more of these chests. Okay. Alright, got all that in there. Got all this in here. That's good. Not much in the way of aluminum, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna need a water refill. And another air box. Now I'll head up there. Here's another loot chest. Buried in the sands. I think there might be another on the way up, actually. Yes, there is. Can't quite take it all. I'll get it on the way back. What's important is going to be building a little box here. With a chest. Dump everything in it except for the O2. Turn my flashlight on and get in here. Grab all this stuff. Disassemble that. And that. Grab this. Disassemble the container it was in. Disassemble the debris. Again, the ambient music is very ominous, but there's not, like, enemies here or anything. So, that's the thing I like about this game, is I know that there's nothing that's going to come out and jump me. Even though these derelict ships are pretty creepy. It's not Subnautica. Okay. We're getting all this loot. Some of the containers that we're in. Moving the way forward. And I basically have to go back already. There is a message here. Cargo ship, Cirilla 4, machinery log 436. This morning on our 17th day of space travel to Stigmar, the ship inexplicably exited hyperspace velocity. The navigation tools went crazy and the ship lost power, as if it had been drained by some exterior thing. We are going to try and make an emergency landing on this unreported planet. I'm not sure what we'll find. There seems to be a huge storm on the surface of the planet. I hope we make it. They probably didn't. I mean, they clearly made it to the surface. I don't think they survived very long. Just judging by how this planet is, not very hospitable. Alright, that. There's a lot in this ship. There's a lot of loot in here. And some lore. Can't be mad about that. Now, that little machine over there, that is something that requires a fusion core, I believe. Which I don't have one. If I did, I'd be able to open a secret compartment in this ship. But I do not have one, and so I can't. It's unfortunate, but I just don't have that ability yet. Eventually we'll get it, and then we'll come back here. It's always a good thing to mark, like, mentally, or make a note or something of where those are, because you will want to come back to them later. Of course, you can always just use Map Genie. I didn't say anything. And it's up to you how to play the. If you want to play the game that way, you can play the game how you want. I'm not going to criticize. Unfortunately, I can't deconstruct the technical debris yet. It would be really nice if I could. But I cannot. Alright. We have all of this stuff now. So much stuff. And we have to bring it back to base, which is a long ways away. So we better get started. We're taking it all the way home. Alternatively, I could drop it off here, just move it in stages, but I think I'm just gonna do it all at once. Make each trip full. And you can see that there's other pieces of wreckage all over the place. There's an arch over there for another thing that we haven't visited yet. And here's another chest with some more stuff, which I can pick up on my way back to pick up more stuff. Lots and lots of loot around here if you know where to look. And we just got the ore extractor. The ore extractor, depending on where you place it, will pick up different types of ore. And the annoying part about it is that you have to keep picking up the ore from it or it won't be able to produce anymore. And the worst part is, if you put it in a special spot that will produce a rare ore, you might not know it right away because it's just going to produce trash for a bit. It's just how it is. Let's decode some more of these. GPS satellite. Torch level 2. Area lamp. Mapping screen. And shredder machine. What does the shredder machine do? Destroys items placed inside. So all it really does is destroy things permanently. I don't know if I really want that. The compass microchip and iron and a silicon will give you the mapping screen. I kind of want that. So I want to get another desk. Now we got the map screen, which is going to be useless until we have the launch platform and the GPS satellite. So, unfortunately, we've got some work to do on that. Launch platform. And that puts me immediately into low power. Okay. We managed to regain power. See, I made a big fuss over having that power grid screen, and I'm not using it. Okay, so I need a compass microchip, a rocket engine, 2 super alloy in order to make the tier 1 GPS satellite. I'm gonna need rocket engines regardless. And those are produced at the Advanced Crafting Station. For that, I need iridium rods and 2 uranium and a super alloy. That's a lot of expensive materials. Requires a ton of iridium, which is currently in use, making heat for the planet. So, not really something I want to devote to, you know, one-time use rockets. But those one-time use rockets are really, really good. So, we'll head back and get some more materials and see how much iridium and uranium we end up with. Because we might end up with enough that I can conscience making some of those. There are places where you can find rocket engines though. So I might want to salvage some instead. We'll see. I do remember that over in that direction is another ship that's even bigger than this one and that one, and has more stuff. There's also a cave in there that has iridium. So we could just go farm some iridium from that cave and not have to worry too much. It might be a good idea. I would like to pick up some more of my junk though. Pick up some of the near junk first. Yeah, I think getting into the iridium cave and getting a lot of that material is a really good idea right now. Especially since I need it for the rocket engines. I might want to explore that large ship first. If I explore the large ship first, I'm gonna need another airbox for that. That's gonna be another long haul of all of this material, which I'm not done with. The last 2 I set up. Not done emptying those. Okay. kind of need a bunch of water if I'm going to do the seeds for biomass. So I'm going to look for a bunch of ice. I should probably get a bunch of ice and do the biomass seeds now, so that can be working while I'm transporting all this material. It would be really nice if I had the transportation thing right about now. The buggy. It'd be really nice to have that. I forget when you get that. It would make the back and forth so much faster. Alright, let's pull a ton of water bottles. Pull off one. Get some food. We don't have enough uranium yet to make a rod, so we can't make a nuclear generator, unfortunately. But we do have enough magnesium and uranium, or not magnesium and aluminum to make some of these things that I need. I think the veg tubes also have aluminum part of the recipe. Yes, they do. Okay. And lima seed. Okay. Now, the grass spreaders are more efficient, but they don't take a multiplier seed, unfortunately. However, we will get flower spreaders, which do take a seed. So, temporarily, we're putting our seeds away. We're just bringing out the Lirima seeds because those are used in the creation of the grass spreaders. Of course. We don't currently have enough power to support that many grass spreaders. That's fine. These cost 7.25. This costs 13.8. And I have 9.4. So I can take 2 of these out. And put another one of these up. Have enough power for that much. Not enough for another one. How do I unlock the vehicle station? It's terraformation total. Unlocks at 6.5 MTI. We haven't even gotten 1 MTI yet. So we're a little ways away from that. A little ways away from the vehicle station. So I can either not explore and just kind of kind of chill, or I can explore anyway. Also, down here we have biomass. This is just total biomass. This is plants, insects, and animals. And each of these have an entirely different tree. We haven't really gotten into that yet in any of our games. So that's where we're kind of getting into uncharted territory for us. Which will be fun. So either we go to the big ship and hope that there's a rocket engine or two in there, or we go to the Iridium Cave and just farm a bunch. I don't know. I'm kind of in the camp of getting the rest of the loot back from those places. Especially since we're getting close to having actual rain on the planet, which starts to get so flower pot just for decoration. Yes. 5 oxygen per second. Okay. I'm gonna take the near stuff for now. Next trip will be one all the way up the hill. Some more blueprint chips, so we'll see if there's more cool stuff to unlock. Tons of space food from raiding all of these derelict ships. Tier 2 jetpack and map information rockets. Now the Tier 2 jetpack, the Tier 1 jetpack was always available here. The Tier 2 jetpack is now available. I honestly haven't messed with that much. Mostly because I'm more concerned with the putting the rocket engines on rockets and shooting them into space. Go figure. less concerned with strapping 2 rockets on myself and shooting off into the air here. Just less of a priority. I tend to get around just fine using the Skyrim jumps. And how did I not notice that there the entire time? This hidden golden chest of awesomeness. What did it have? Golden seed, nullness seed, super alloy, and then a golden effigy. And a iridium rod, which I need for my rocket engines. Definitely a good thing. Oh, we're now getting rain. Finally getting some liquid water on this planet. Very nice. We have an atmospheric water collector that we can create, which will just soak up water from the atmosphere, so we don't need to really worry about having ice to turn into water anymore. Even if all the ice were to just disappear, it's fine. We can get plenty of water. The actual rate at which you get the water is way more than you could ever drink it. So it's you can stock up like a whole chest full of water very easily. I don't need this stuff as urgently as I need this stuff. Especially the aluminum. That stuff I'm gonna need. Also, this ice has started melting, which means that we can go in and get stuff like osmium now. This is the osmium cave. That's really cool, because osmium is stuff that we're gonna need for producing later tech. We already saw it with the Tier 2 jetpack, which requires osmium. I think I forgot which machine it was that required it as well. There's also a storage crate out here. Something to think about picking up. Really nice to not need to stop at every little place to catch a breath. This extended O2 tank is really nice, and there's still more tiers to come. So it's not the last time it'll be expanded. I know there's a tier 5 of both backpack and O2 tank. There might be tier 6 and 7. I don't know. It's definitely possible. Alright. back. We have enough uranium that we can actually make a rod now. A singular rod. I think that's a good move. Because we really want one of these. We water 2 super alloy. Let's go. No, other way around. 2 water, 3 super alloy. Let's go. Now we can relax. We've got a really powerful nuclear reactor outputting 96 kilowatts, or sorry, 86.5 kilowatts. So we've got plenty of power to work with. I'm wanting to see if we can get to where is it? The flower spreader. We need more pressure for that. I might want to make more drills then. That'll increase our pressure production by quite a bit. What would also do it is if I can get a rocket up there. I know there's a pressure rocket. Once I've cleared out those chests, there's really no excuse not to go to the next ship. Because I really think that there might be a rocket engine there. There's no sense in hiking all the way up there with a mostly full inventory. I'm already here, so I might as well just take from these chests. think we might save the next ship for next time. Because it's getting kind of late. My human's getting kind of tired. We've been getting up pretty early in the morning. Last couple of days, so this is staying up very late for our recent sleep schedule. As far as I know, these beams can't hurt you. Yeah, they can't. Just instinct to kind of move around the stuff. I'm gonna put the overflow iron in the titanium chest, just because I don't have very much titanium. See, now I'm gonna have to separate the O2 seeds from the food seeds. Alright, we've got rain, we're gonna have liquid water soon. We're working toward the Tier 2 nuclear reactor, which we will not be able to do yet, and the flower spreader. I think it's the biodome, it's something else. I don't remember where it was from, but there's a building you can build. I don't think it was the biodome. Maybe it was. No, it was a laboratory of some kind. There we go, biolab. The biomass tier gives you the biolab. And when you unlock that, that allows you to make some things. That gives you the ability to make the thing you need to make the nuclear reactor tier 2. So we're nowhere near close to being able to make that. And we're also not close to being able to get the flower spreader, which is unfortunate, but it is the way it is. If we had the flower, or the rockets going up, that'd be much better. But we'll get there. But I think that's going to be all for me from now. Just because we're getting pretty tired. I will see who is up at this time, doing stuff. XinYu is up doing Timberborn. Riven is up doing Minecraft. And I haven't raided Riven in a while. So I'm going to raid Riven. So I will be back with more Planet Crafter next time, and more Tales of Vesperia on Sundays, and we're also going to be doing some bonus streams probably for Final Fantasy XIV once the Cosmic Exploration hits, more when the Occult Crescent starts. but I still want to do the cosmic exploration stuff on stream. So it's something to think about. But anyway, I will send this over to Riven now. Have a good night, y'all.